Guys ready? Good morning. Let's roll. How many we got? 300? Great. Not that many?
You might have to holler at them, man. Okay.
Who's this guy to my left? $1.50, 2.5, and 50. We get 2.5, we get 2.5, we get 2.5, going to be 52.5, we get 2.5, 35, and 35, and 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, we get 35, 7, 50, 40, and 40, we get 2.5, 45, 47.5, 47.5, 52.5, and 52.5, we get 2.5, we get 2.5, we get 2.5, we get 2.5, 52.5 here and hound 2.5 here, so 150, Cavaness 11. $1.65, and 65, and 65, 65, 65, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 70, 172.5, 75, 77.5, group 82.5, 85, 87.5, 87.5, group 90, and 2.5, 92.5, 2.5, 2.5, 92, 50, and 2.5, 5, and 95 here, 97, 97, 97, 97, 97, Doug got 7 high, and 95, 99, down 201, 201, 203, and 35 here, group 205, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85 here, sold 203, Gibbon Bull. Buck 35, and 35, you give out 35, 35, 40, and 35, 40, 45, 45, 45, 50, 59, 55, 55, 55, 60, and now 65, 65, 65, 70, 170, 170, 102 and a half, 72 and a half, 75, and 75, 77 and a half, 77 and a half, 77 of 80, and now 80, 80 there, going to be 80, bit 80 there, going to be 81, 81, 80 here, Doug, 177, 56. $185, 85 there, going to be 85 there, going to be 85, 85, 85, 87 and a half, going to be 87 and a half, going to be 90, 92 and a half, going to get 2 and a half, 5, and 95, 95, 97 and a half, 97 and a half, 97 and a half, going to be $2, and down 2, going to be 3, going to get 2, going to be 2, going to be 2, down 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, going to get 2 and a half, 5, and 2 and a 5, going to get 5, going to get 5, 750, and 7, 7 and a half, 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 7 and a half here, 7 and a half here, sold them, 205. What's the name? Victor. Had a dream that we had a sale in here, and the lights went out, and Dad sold out this cow for like 35 cents a pound. Got a little abscess here on the right, on the left side. $1.50, half 5, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, now 60, now 60, 165, and 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 5 here, 65 here, sold 160 DO. And he sold this cow out for 35 cents a pound, and I said, you got what do I do at night? 210, 210, down at 210, 1250, 10, 12 to 5, group 10 and 12 to 5, group 10 and 12 to 5, group 210, 12 to 5, group 210, 12 to 5, group 210, 12 to 5, I got it, 210, 1250, and 10, we get 12 to 5, 10, 12 to 5, 10, 12 to 5, 10, 12 to 5, S, 61, 210. Look at flat back. No, it was the Brahms ice cream I had, so it made me dream so weird last night. $2, 2.5, and 2.5, we get 2.5, we get 2.5, we get 5, we get 5, we get 5, 7.5, 7.5, 10, 210, 210, 210, 12.5, 210, 12 to 5, 15, 15, 17.5, 17.5, 17.5, 17.5, 17, 50.5 here, sort of a 215, Gibbon Bull. Tens are open. 125, each 25, and 25, 25, 25, and 27 and a half, 7 and a half, 30 and a half, 32 and a half, 35, 40, 145, 45 and a half, 45, 50, and a half, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50 here, Doug, 145, 5. Yeah, the Wrangler Pearl Sniff on it. 8 to 10. It's hold out Hereford. 155 and 55, sell 2, 135 and 35, 40, 135, 40, 40, 40, 40, 35, 40, 140 and 35, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 30, 40, down 2 and a half, 2 and a half, and 2 and a half, 5 and 45, 45, 45, 45, you get 5 here, 45, 45, 45, 45, you get 5, you get 5, you get 5 here, Doug, 40, 2 and a half, 5, sell the Hereford, dollar bid, 105 and 105 and 105 here, good 105, you get 5, you get 5, 50 cents a pound and 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, you get 5, good to be 70, you get 5, 75, 80, good to be 5, 85, 85, 90 and 95 here, 95, $100, a dollar a pound, going to be 105, going to be 10, going to be 110, 15, 110, 15, 20, and pound 20, going to be 120, going to be 115, 20 here, 15, 20, bid 20 there, going to be 20, bid 20 sold, 115, put them on D. You want her on 2? OX. He called it last month. $135 and 35 to give out 35, 35, 37, 50 and 7 and a half, 42 and a half, 2 and a half, 45, going to be 7 and a half, 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 47, 50 and 47 and 6, 7 and 47, 46, 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 here, going to be 7 and 7 here, going to be 7, 7 now 8 and 47 to 7 to 7 to 7 to 7 to 47 and high, going to be 9, going to be 9, going to be 9, going to be 9, 40 and high, Doug, you're at 40 and high, and high, daughter, going to be 9, going to be 9, 50 and 150, have 1 and 50, 51 here, 1 here, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51 here, 150. 8. $155, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57 and 7 and 60, 60, 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 250 and 2 and a half, 5 and 5 and 3, 5 and half 5, 5, 3, 5 and 3, 5 and 3, 5 and 3, 5 and 3, Chris 163, 20. It's you, Charlie? That's not Charlie, is it? You are Charlie? Okay. I am John. Nice to meet you, Charlie. Yes, sir. Yep. Gotcha. Okay. I'll go check on them after the sale's over with today. Thanks, Charlie. You bet. 7 and 8-year-old cows are 3 and 5 months bred. Males are just a pinch cripple. Let's see. Hold your gate. Just a little bit. Let's weigh them. $1.55. 155 and 55, 57, going to be 60, 2 and a half, 5, 7, 65, 7 and a half, 7, 70, 170, 70, 170, 170, tiger out, 70 and half, 70, 72 and a half, and 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 70, now 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 5, and 75, 77 and a half, 77 and a half, 77 and a half, 77 of 80, and how 80, give it 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, going to be 82 and a half, going to be 82, 50, 82 and a half, now 2 and 5, 85 here, going to be 87 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 87 and a half here, so 185, S7. JS Bar, saw him earlier. There he is, right there. Going to be JS Bar cows. They're gaining 155 and 55 and 55. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57. Going to be 60. Going to get 2 and a half. Going to get 5 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, 170, 170, 170, 250 and 72 and a half, 5 and 75 here. 77 and a half, 77 and a half, 77 and a half, 80 and how 80 give 83. Going to be 80, 80 on 8, 9 and how high. Going to be 70 and high. Going to be 89, 89, 80, 79. Going to be 80 and 79. Going to be 80. That one, 81 here. Going to be 81, 81, 81, 81, 81. 81 here, going to be 81 here, going to be 81, 81, 81 here, Doug. 180 on 5. Ain't no way. 2 shortbread, 1 open. They're all going to go. 145 and 45. You get 5, 45, 45, 45, 47 and a half, 47 and a half. Going to get 50. Going to get 2 and a half. Going to get 55, 57 and a half, 57 and a half. Going to be 60. Going to get 60. Going to get 60. Going to get 60 and a half, 60 and 57 and a half. Going to be 60. Going to get 60. Going to get 60. Chris, 57 and a half, 20. I don't know. That's what I asked you. Hello, Mr. McGee. How are you, sir? Justin or Jared? Jared?
Keep going and I'll call.
You bidding, Greg? You bidding? Not yet. Hey, they're young. Well, we got it. They're bred to Longhorn Bull. How far bred? They're checked open. $3 a pound. $3.05 and $3.05. We get 5. We get 5. 3. We get 5. 3. We get 5. 305 and $3.05. We get 5. 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 305. 305. 305. 305 and $3.05. We get 5. 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 5 here. Both $3 1. Too cheap. Here's another one. Bred to Longhorn Bull. $3. 1 by 2. $3 now 5 and $3.05. We get 5. We get 3. 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 We get 305. 305. 305 and $3.05. We get 5. We get 5. We get 5. We get 3. 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 Now 3. Now 3. 285 90. 85 90. 85 and 90. We get 90. Group 90. 85 and 90. 85 and 90. 85 and 90. You Mexicans going to do anything today? 290. 85 90. 85 90. We get 90. Group 90. We get 90. Group 90 here. Bo. 285. Same way. Too hot. Stomach hurt. Huh? Oh, powder up. Cold front's here today. It's 97. Be nice. Be nice. Yeah.
Same deal. Just
$3 now 5 and $3.05. We get 5. We get 3. We get 5 and 5 and 5 here. $3.05 and $3.05. We get 5 and 10. Go to be 10. Go to be 20. 20. 30. We get 3. 30 and 25 and $3.25 here. 25. 25. 25. 25. 25 and 30. We get 3. 30. We get 3. 30 and 25. We get 30. Get 30 down. 30. We get 30. We get 30 here. Both. 325. 1. You know this guy. 250, 255, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, we get 60, 260, 265, and 70, we get 270, we get 275, we get 275, we get 275, 80, and now 80, we get 280, we get 285, 85 there, go to 85, 85, 85, 85 here, 80, we get 5 here, Bo, 281. These cows belong to the Oklahoma State University. $2. 155, 55, little NIL money, 155, 57, going to be 60, going to get 2.5, 250, and 2.5, 5, and 5, and 5, 7, 70, 70, now 2.5, 70, 2.5, 5, and 75, 77, 77, 750, now 80, and now 80, the big 80 there, 81, 81, 80 here, 81, 80 there, 80, give 80 here, yes, 77.5 on 21. Go right on, 55, 60, and 2.5, and 2.5, it'll get 2.5, it'll get 2.5, it'll get 2.5, 2.5, 5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 70, 170, 170, 2.5, 70, 2.5, 5, and 75, 77, 77, 750, and 77, bit of a half here, going to be 77, 77, going to be 77.5 here, S, 175, 21. He does have something on his shirt. He does have some logo on his shirt. It must have been expensive. Six-year-old cows are 2 and 4 months bred. 2,000, 2,100, and 21. 21, and 21, 21, 21, 21, 2100 here, 2100 here, 2, and 22, and 22, 2200 here, 23, and 23, and 23, and a half for 4, and 24 to 400 a half here, 4.5, 5 here, 550, 600, and 26 a half here, 7, and 27, and 7 of 800 here, 8.5, 9, and now 950, and 9.5, 3,000, now 50, now 50, now 1, and 31, 32, 32, 32, 32, 31, 200 here, 1 here, go to 2, Chris 3, 30, 100. Eight-year-olds, they're 10-year-olds. How far bred? They're the 3 and 4 months bred. 155, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57, 7, 7, 7, 57, 60, 2.5, 5, 5, 7, 70, 170, 170, 170, 70, 2.5, and 75, and 75, 77, how 80 there, going to be 81, 81, 80, 2.5, going to be 2.5, 5, 85 here, going to be 85, 87, going to be 87, going to be 190, 2.5, 2.5, 5, and 95, 97, 97, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, done. 195.44. Seven to 9-year-olds are open, guys, here. 155 and 55 and 57. Going to be 60. Going to get 2.5. Going to get 5. 7.5. 7.5. 7.5. 7.5. 7.5. 67. 50. And 7.5. 7.5. 7.5. 7.5. 7.5. 7.5. 7.5. 70. And now 70. 70. 70. Going to 9. 70. Going to get 9. 70. Going to get 9. 70. Going to get 70. Going to be 70. Sold 169. Kevin is 3. She got bumps all over. If you need to hold her, you can. If not, I don't really care today. 9, 10-year-old cows, they are 5 to 7 months bred. If you need to hold that one, we sure can. 2,500 and 25. 25 and 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 50 and 25 and a half, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 25 and a half, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 25, 50 and 25 and a half, group 25 and a half, group 25 and a half, group 25 and a half. Anybody else want to play? 25, 50 and 25, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 5 and 6 and 25 and a half, group 26 and a half here, group a half and 26 and a half here now, half here, group 26 and a half. It gets 650 and 26 and a half here, group 26 and a half here, group half here, sort of at 2,600 done. 44. You want her off? Let her go. Gotcha. Thank you, Caleb. Six to 8 year olds are 5 and 7 a month's bred. 2,100. 21, 21, 21, 21, 2100 here, 1 here, 21, 21, 21 and a half, good 2, 50 and 3, and 23 and a half, 23 and a half, 23 and a half, 4, and 24 and a half, 24 and a half, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 5, and 25, 5, and 2,500, and 25, 25, and 25, 25, 25, 2,500 here, 5, 5 here, 5, 5 here, Dylan, 24 and a half. Nine, 10-year-olds are 4 to 6 months bred. 2,100. One's a little bit lame. Should be there. 2,100. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 2100 here. 1 here. 1 here. 1 here. You're going to be 16. Half. And 16 and a half. And 16 and a half here. Half and a half here. 1,700. And 700 and a half. 700 and a half. 700 and a half. 700 and a half. 1,750. And 700 and a half here. You're going to be 700 and a half. 700 and a half. 700 and a half. 700 and a half. You're going to be 17. Bit of a knife here. Antone. 1,700. A little better deal. 6 by 4 on the black cow. 6 by 6 on the brownish cow. 2,500 and 25 and 25 and 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 2,600 and 6 and a half and 26 and a half here, half here, 7 and 27 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 here and 27 and 27, 7 by 2,700, 2,700, 2,700 and 27 here now 7 and 7 and 7 and Caleb out 27 and 27 and a half, 7 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 and a half here, going to be 27, going to be half done. 2,744. Three-year-olds are open. I didn't check them. 250. 255, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55 here, going to be 255, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 35, 40, and 35, 45, 45, 45, 50, 255, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55 here, so about 250, Ricardo. Number 5, Brigham. You hope they are or not? 2? Okay. Seven and 8 year olds here, 65, and 65, and 65, and 65, now 5 here, 5, now 5, and 65, and 65, and 65, 7 hand, 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 D, 165, 2. I need to bring a cow. You can preg her. Can you do her tomorrow? 5 to 10 years old here, 155 and 55 and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 35, 37 and a half and 37 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and 40 and 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 45, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 47, 50 and 47 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 47 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 47 and a half here, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 47 and a half, 6, 7 and 47, 47, 47, yeah, Doug, 47 and 6, 7 and 7, 7 away, 47 away, 7 away, 7 away, 7 away, 7 away, 9, good 9, good 9, good 9, good 9, good 9, good 9, 40 now, 9 here, sort of 148, Cavaness. Seven to 10 years old, look like McGee. Consignment 135, 40, and 35, and 35, 42 and a half, 45, 47 and a half, 50, 2 and a half, 55, 55, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, and 57, 50, 57 and a half, 6, 7, and 56 and a half, 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 away, 57 away, 7 away, 7 away, 57 away, $58, and 57 away, 50, 57 away, 57 away, 57 now, 8 here, 9 hide, and 9, Jigga 9, now 9, good 9, good 9, good 9, Kershaw 9, and 60, and 9 here, going to be 61, Zigga 1, Zigga 1, Zigga 2, 60, 1, 2, and down 2, good 2, good 2, good 2, good 2, good 2, 2, 2, sold 161, Chris 20. Still looks a little cheaper, don't it? 21. Lame cows here at 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 45, and 47 and a half, and 47 and a half, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 60, 60, 60, now 60, and 57, 60, 8, 9, and down high, group 9, group 9, group 9, group 9, 9, down high, 60, and down 1, and Zigga 1, has Zigga 1, Zigga 1, Zigga 1, Zigga 1, Zigga 1, Zigga 1, Doug, 160, on 5. No. Sir, X on those last draft, please. 9 and 10-year-old. 4 and 5 months bred. Here's a McBride cows down there at Norman, Oklahoma. Right there, going to be 2100 and 21 and 21 and 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, high, going to be 2, going to be 50, going to be high, now 3, down 3, 50, and 3 to hand, 24, 24 to hand, 24 to hand, 24 to hand, going to be 24 to hand, and 25, 25, 50, 5 to hand, 25 to hand, 600, and 2600 here, 5 to hand, going to be 2600 here, 5 to hand, going to be 2600, and 25 to hand, going to be 2600 here, 5 to hand, going to get 6 done, 25, 50, 44. Where Lame cows here, 35, 35, 35, 35, 37 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 37 and 7 and 7 and 37, 50, and 40 and 42 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 42 and a half, 5, and 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 40, Robbie out, 45, and 47 and a half, and 47 and a half, 7 and a half, 6, 7, and 47, 47, how, hey, there, 47, hey, 47, give 8, 9, and 9, daughter, go to 9, 50, 50, 50, 49, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, here, D, 149, 0. Where are you going? Eight to 10, they're all open. 155, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57, 7, 60, 60, 2 and a half, 7, 600, and 600, and 66 order, 65, 66 here, 600, and 7, and half 7, and 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, going to be 7, going to be daughter, and half 7, going to be 68, and half 7, going to be 68, daughter, here, cabinet 167 on 3. Fifty-five, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, who get 5, 55, 57, 7, 7, 7, 57, 7, 7, 57, 50, 57, 5, 57, 7, 60, 60, 60, good to be 9, and Hal 60, and Hal 60, 60, good to be 60, Hal 60, Doug 159, 5. Five years, hope on cow, 135, 35, you give out 37, 7, 42, 45, 47, 50, 50, you give 50, 5, and 55, 55, 57, 7, 57, 7, 60, and now 62, 5, and 65, and 7, here, Doug, 165, 5. Four-year-old, she's 7 months bred, 2100 and 21 and 21 and 21, 21, 21, 21, 2100 here, 1 here, 1 here, going to be 2100 and 21 and 20 here, 1 here, 2, 3 and 23, 50, 3 and a half, 3 and a half, 4 and 24 and a half here, 4 and a half, 5 here, 25, 50, 5 going to be 26 and 2600 here, 5 going to be 2600 here, 5 26 here, done, 44, 25, 50. Nope, 45. Put them on done. 45. My apologies, Caleb. 6 years, 3 months here, 2100 and 21. Give 21, 21, 21, 2100 here, 1 here, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21. 6 years, 3 months here, 2100, not 2, and 21, 2, and 21, 2, 2, 3, and 23 and a half, 23 and a half, 23 and a half. You're both out. 23, 15 and a half, 4, and 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24 and a half, going to be 24 and a half, 5, and 25, 50, 5 and 26 here, and 26 and a half here, 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7 here, going to be 2700, and 27, and 7, and 7, 7 here, 7 here, Chris, 26 and a half, 3. There we go. 10 years old here, 145, and 45, you give out 45, 47, and 7, 47, and 7, 7, 47, 50, and 50, 50, 52, and 52, and you give 5, and 55, 57, 7, 60, 60, 60, 60, not 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 5, now 5 here, Chris, 62 and a half, 20. $125 and 25 and 25, 25, 25, 25, 25 and 30, 25, 30, 30, 30, 30, 125, 30, 30, 30, 30, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5 and 35 and 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35 here, 35 here, 30, you know you're out, and 35, 5 and 35, Doug, 32 and a half, 5X. 8-year-old 4 months here, 2100, and 21, and 21, 21, 21, 2100, here, 1, here, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, and 22, and 22, and 22, we get 3, and 23, we get 4, and 24, we get 5, and 25, and 25, and 25, 24 and a half, here, 4 and a half, we get 4 and a half, we get 4 and a half, 24 and a half, and 24 and a half, here, 4 and a half, we get 4 and a half, we get 4 and a half, done, 2400 on 44. $250, now 5, and 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, we get 60, now 5, and 70, we get 70, we get 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, and 75 here, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75 here, Bo, 271. $2, 205, and 205, we get 5, we get 5, we get 5, we get 2, we get 5 here, we get 5, we get 10, and down 10, 20, 20, 30, we get 30, now 30, 40, we get 40, 50, we get 2, 50, 60, down 270, and 270 give 82, 82, 75, 80, and 270 going to be 82, 70 give 82, 80, we get 2, 82, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85 here, we get 80, now 5 here, Chris, 280, 3X. You leaving, Charlie? Talk to you later, sir. Safe travels back home. Four-year-old, she's open. $2, $2.05, and $2.05. We get 5, we get 5, 5 here. We get 5, we get 5, we get 5, we get 5, 205, 205, 205, and 205. We get 5, 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 we get 5 here. $1.50, $1.55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 5, 70, 175, and 75 here, 75, 75, 80 here, 85 here, 85, 85, 85, 90, and 90 here, 190, and 90 here, 190, we get 90, 90 here, 190, 90 here. Kyle, 185, but I'm on number 15. Six-year-old, 5-month bred here, 3,000, 3,100, and 31, and 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, and 30 here, 1, here, 31, 31, 31, 31 here, going to be 3,100, and 31, and 30 here, 1, here, 31, here, 31, 31, 31, 31, we get 31, we get 31, we get 31, Chris 3,000. $155, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57, 7, 7, 7, 57, 7, 7, 57, 50, 60, and now 60, we get 62 and a half, we get 2 and a half, 5, and 5, and 5, 5, 5 and 5 here, Chris, 62 and a half, 20. She's large right there, here, 155, and 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57, going to be 60, we get 2 and a half, 5, and 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 67 and a half here, and now 7 and a half here, Chris, 10, 165. How old? 2-year-old, 250. 255, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 250, and 255, and 55, 55, 55, wow, 255, here you go, 255, and 55 here, 2 1/4, and 225, 2 1/4, 225, 30, 230, and 25, 30, we get 30, we get 30, we get 30, we get 30, 30, 30, Bojo bid, 30, 30, we get 30, 30, Chris, 225, 3X. 4 years, and she's 4 months bred. Who get 2,000, 2,100, and 21, 21, and 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, here, 2,100, and 2,100, here, 1,100, here, going to be 15 and a half, and 15 and a half, here, half, here, 16, half, and 17, half, 1,800, 18 here, 18 and a half, here, 1,850, and now 19 and a half, and 19 and a half, 19 and a half, Dylan, you're out, 1950, and 19 and a half, going to be 2,000, and 2,000, going to get 2,000, 2,000, Bryce, you're out 2, and 2,000, going to be 3, going to get 2, going to be 3, going to get 2, now 2,000, going to get 2,000, going to get 2,000, Dylan, 1950. 5-year-old here, 35, and 35, 35, 35, 35, 37 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and 40, 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 42, 50, and 42 and a half, 42, 5, and 45, 47 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 47 and a half, 47 and 50, another 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 5, and 55, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 60, and a half, 62 and a half, 52 and a half, 5, and 65, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, 170, 102 and a half, 75, 75, 77 and a half, 77, 50, and 77 and a half, here, 77, bit of a half, here, Chris, 175, 3X. Wow. You take it and go home? No, you didn't. 135, and 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 37 and a half, 7 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 and a half, who bid? 35, and 35, and 35, and 37 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 40, we get 40, and 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, 42 and a half, 5, and 45, 47 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 50, we get 50, 50, 52 and a half, we get 2 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 and a half, S, 158.
You did that.
The people they work in it, says we gonna have to change the machines. Don't do that. Don't do that.
4-year-old right here, $75, $75, 80, and 85, 85, 85, 85, and 90, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, $2 a pound, going to be 205, and now 10, 210, 15, 220, and 225, we get 225 and 30, we get 235, we get 235, 40, and now 45, 45, 45, we get 5, we get 5, we get 5, we get 5, 5 here, 40, we get 5 here, Chris, 240, 3X.
Next time I stop by, I'm gonna make a little scratch and somewhere, something that way. I know it's the same machine.
I need to do something.
You can move it
Yeah. Let's put a sticker on it. Antonio's.
Yeah.
$2, 205, and 205, we get 5, we get 5, we get 5, we get 5, now 2, now 5 here, 5, we get 5, we get 5, we get 5, now 5 here, we're going to 205, and 205, we get 5, we get 5, we get 5, we get 5, here, $75, here, $75, here, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, $50, now 5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, you get 5, 55, we get 5, 55, we get 5, 55, we get 5, here, and 60, and now 5, and to get about 70, 70, 170, we get 70, we get 70, 165 on 5. 5-year-old guys here, 155, and 55, 55, 55, 57, 57, and 60, 60, and 2 and a half, 5, and to get about 7 and a half, 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 70, going to be 170, and 2 and a half, 72 and a half, 72, 50, and 70, we get 2 and a half, 5, and 75, 77, 50, and 77 and a half, going to be 77 and a half here, going to be 77 and a half here, S, 175, 2. 10 years and 3 months here, 155, and 55, and 55, 57, 57, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 60, and 2 and a half, 5, and 65, 7, 70, 170, 70, now 2 and a half, 5, and 77 and a half, 80, and now 80, you give 80, 80, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, 85, 87, 87, 7, 87, and a half here, 87, but a half here, so 185 done, 44. 10 by 3, right on here, 65, and 65, and 65, and 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 7 and a half, 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 67, 50, and 65, 7 and a half, 70, 170, 170, 70, 70, 70, 70, same way, 167 and a half. Swing the gates, let's roll. rock and roll. 10-3, 165. Hands get 5. Hands get 5. 7 170, 170. You get 72 and a half, 75, and 75, 77 and a half, 77 and a half, 80, and down 2 and a half, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 87 and a half, 87 and a half, group 87 and a half, 87 and a half, group 87 and a half, group 87 and a half. Here, sort of a $1.85, same way. $2 pound, $2.05, and $2.05, and $2.05 here, $5 here, $2.05, and $2.05, here, $1.75, $1.75, and $75 here, $75, 80 here, $85, 90 here, $95, and $95 2, and $95 2, and $95 200 here, $95 2, now 5, and $2.05 at 10 here, a bit of a 10, 15, 210, 15 here, a bit of a 10, 15, bow, 210, 1. 135 and 35. You go 35, 37 hands, 7 hands, 7 hands, 7 hands, 35, 37 hands, 5 and 37.50 and 37 hands, 7 hands, 7 hands, 7 hands, 40 now, 40 hands, 44, 42 and a half, 2 and a half, 42.50, 5, 42 and a half, and 42 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, and 2 and a half here, Doug, 145. 140. I don't remember. 42 and a half. That sounds better. Doug, just 5. Just Doug 5. 3 and open. $1 pound, $5, 105, and $5, 105, 105, and $5, 10, going to be 110, 15, 110, 115, 110, 115. No, you're out. 115, 20, 120, 125, 125, 125, 30. Now 30. Now 5. 135, 40. 135, 40. Now 5. 145. 145. D, 140, 0. 7 years old, guys here, 35, and 35, you go out 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 37 hands, 7 hands, 7 hands, 7 hands, 7 hands, 7 hands, 7 hands, 37, 50, and 37 hands, 37 hands, 7 hands, 7 hands, group 37 hands, group 37 hands, group 37 hands, here, so 135, Chris 15. Begin here, 65, and 65, and 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 7 hands, 7 hands, 70, 172 and a half, 72 and a half, 75, and 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 5, and 75, 75, 75, 75, here, Gibbon, 172 and a half. 1. 2-year-old, she's 5 months bred, 2,500 and 25, yeah, 25 and 25, 25, 25 and a half here, 25, going to be 26 and a half here and a half, 7 and 27 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 800 here, 8 here, 850, 859 and not a half, 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 going to be 3,000, 3,000 and 3,000, 3 and 3,000, 3,000, 3,000, Chris, 29 and a half, 3. Yes, sir. Right there. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57 hands, 7 hands, 7 hands, 7 hands, 60, 60, now 2 and a hand, 2 and a hand, 5, and 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 7 hands, 7 hands, 70, 170, 172 and a hand, 72 and a hand, 72 and a half, 72, 50, and 70, 2 and a half, going to be 70, 2 and a half, going to be 72 and a half, Chris, 170, 10.
We almost got a ring this morning, John.
Did you get one last night?
No, we missed it. We're going right by Inner North over by Blackwell.
You getting one today?
I hope so.
55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 60, very good, 60, and 2 and a half, 2 and a half, very good, 2 and a half, very good, 2 and a half, 60, 250, and 2 and a half, very good, 2 and a half, very good, 2 and a half, 5, and 8, 162 and a half, 2.
You remember someone bringing a bunch of black Collie sheep with the same brand as the Scout?
Yep, Dobby's brand, yep.
So they probably got
They got some here this week, I think. 4 years and 4 months ago, she got bred. Little blue eye, 2100 and 21, 21 and 21, 21, 21, 2100 here, 1 here, 2100 here, 1 here, 1 here, 21 and 21 and 21 2, 3 and 23 and 23 and a half, 23 and a half, 23 and a half, and 23 and a half, half here, half here, and 23 and a half, turn out 23 and a half here, half here, go to half. Dylan, 2300. 6-year-old, 7-1. She's a little bit crippled. She's a little bit lame. 2100 and 21. 21 and 21, 21, 21, 21 and a half, 21, 2 and a half, 22 and a half, 23, 23, 23, 23 and a half, and 23, 50 and 4, and 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, and 2400, 2400, and 400, 400, 400, 4, Dylan, 2350. Way to cow here, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57 and a half, 7 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 and a half, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 60 and a half, 60, very good, 60, very good, 2 and a half, and 5, and 5, and 7 and a half, 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 67 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70 and a half, 70, very good, 70, show them what you got, 70, $1.70 pound, going to be 70, very good, 70, very good, 70, very good, 70 and a half, 70 here, so 167 and a half, Kevin is 3. 8 years and she's 2 months bred, 155 and 55 and 55, 57 and 57 and 57 and going to be 60, very good 2 and a half, very good 5 and half 70, 170, 170, 105, 70 and 5 and 75, 80 here, 81, 81, 80 here, 75, give 80 here, 181, 80 and 75, 80 here, 81, 80 here, 80 here, bow 175 on 5. You government guys, who are we supposed to vote for the governor? Y'all don't even know either? Well, that's good. Good answer. This triple heart. Sold a few of them, 14 of them. Old cows, is that right? 7 to 10-year-olds. One drop. Lid. 155, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57, going to be 60, and 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 7 and a half, 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 65, 7 and a half, and 600, and 66 here, 65, 66 7, and 7 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 here, going to be 67, and 6 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 $8, and now 7 now 8 now 9, going to be 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 9, now 9, going to be 9, $9, and now 9 here, going to be 9, 9 here, going to be 9, 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 now 9 here, S 168, 62. Those Mas Vacas. 155, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57, going to be 60, we get 2 and a half, we get 5, 7 and a half, 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 67, 50, and 7 and a half, 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 70, and half, 70, 70, we get 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 70, S, 67 and a half, 22. How do we have that many bulls every week? What, 50 bulls every week. 50 bulls a week.
That's a lot, 7X.
175, and 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 80, and 75, group 85, 85, 90, 90, 190, 190, 190, 190, 190, here, 190 here, group 190, group 90, group 87 and a half, 90, 190, 190, and 90, 90, now 92 and a half, 92 and a half, and 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, Cabinet Bull, 192 and a half, 9X, Cab Bull 9, Bull 9. Just now saw it.
One day, right here. Oh, I don't know, it's a few months.
Did it work all right?
A white bull.
I just now saw your message. An hour later. Guess it worked out. $2, 2.5, and 2.5, 2.5, 5, and 5, 7 and a half, 7 and 10, 2.10, 2.12 and a half, $15, 15, 7, hit and a half, 7, hit and a half, 7, hit and a half, 17, 20, and 10, 20, get 23, 2.5, and 22 and a half. What about 1, 21, 21, 2, 21, 2, 22, 22, 22, and 222, 22, 22, 22, 22, S, 221, 61. $1.55 and 55 and 55 and 57 group is 60 55 70 175 75 81 81 81 82 and a half 82 and a half 82 and a half 82 and a half 92 and a half group 85 85 85 85 85 85 85 85 85 35 85 4 5 86 86 7 87 7 7 7 7 7 7 here group 86 7 87 here 87 here Doug 186 6 186, 7, 87, 87, 8, 90, 90, 92, 95, 95, 95, 95, 97, 97, now 2, and hand 2, now 2, hand 2, big 2, hand 2, big 2, group 2, big 2, group 2, 1, now 2, and hand 2, 3, and 3, 4, 4, here, 2, 3, big 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, big 4, big 4, 4, here, best, 203, 61X. $2, 2.5, and $2, 2.5, big 2.5, big 2.5, big 2.5, group 2, 2.5, group 2.5, big 2.5, group 2.5, big 2.5, group 2, 250, and 2.5, big 2.5, big 2.5, big 2.5, S, $2, 61X. Yearlings, yes.
Puede chingar. Ve la computadora.
$1.55 and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, and 5 here, 35, 40, and 35, 40, and 35, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 45, and 45, 2.5, 45, 45, 45, 7.5, 47.5, 47, 50, and 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, so 147.5, Doug, 6X, just 6. $1.85, $1.85, group 85, 85, 87, group 92, 92, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 97, 7, 7, 7, 2, and 97, group 2, and 97, group 2, now 2, C on 2, group 2, group 2, group 2, now 2, now 2, group 2, now 2, group 2, group 2, so 197.5, Doug 7. 222 and a half, and 222 and a half, we get 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, 5, and 25, 27 and a half, 30, we get 30 and a half, 32 and a half, 32 and a half, 32 and a half, 32 and a half, 31, and 32, 32, 32, 33, 33, 33, 33, we get 3, and 33, we get 4, 33, we get 4, 5, yeah, 35, and 35, 35, 36, and 36, 7, and 7, 7, 7, 7 of 8, 37 of 8, 37 of 8, 37 of 8, we get 37 of 8 here, S, 237, 61. Two and a half, and 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, we get 5, we get 5, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 2, 2, 10, 2, 10, 2, 10, 12 and a half, 10, 10, 12 and a half, 12 and a half, 15, 15, 15, 17 and a half, 17 and a half, 17 and a half, 17, 50, 17, give a half here, good to be 17 and a half, 17, 20, and hand 20, good to be 20, and hand 20, good to be 20, bit of 20, good to be 20, bit of 20, yes sir, 220 pound here, D, 217 and a half, boo. Oh, yeah, here, 185, 85, 85 there, good to be 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 87 and a half, 7 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 and a half, 87, 50, 87 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 87 and a half here, sort of $1.85, given boo. There's brother, $1.50. $55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57 and a half, 7 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 and a half, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 57 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 sold 155, given boo. 185, 85 there, good to be 85, 85, 85, 85, 85 here, 87 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 90, 92 and a half, we get 2 and a half, 5, and 95, 97 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and 2, now 2, good to be 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, 5, and 25, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 10, 210, we get 210, 12 and a half, good to be 210, 12, 50, and 10 and 12 and a half, good to be 10 and 12 and a half, good to be 10 and 12 and a half, good to be 210, 12 and a half here, S, 61, 210. 155, and 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57 and a half, 7 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 and a half, 60, we get 62 and a half, 2 and a half, 25, and 65, and 65, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, 170, 172 and a half, 72 and a half, 5, and 77 and a half, 77 and a half, 77 and 80, and how 80 here, 80, how 80 here, 180, give 80 here, 80, give 80 here, Doug, 177 and a half, 6. 185, 85 there, good to be 87 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and 90, good to be 192 and a half, we get 2 and a half, 25, and 95, 97 and a half, 97 and a half, good to be 2 and a half, good to be 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, good to be 2, 250, Doug, you're at 5, and now 5, we get 5, and 7 and a half, 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 10, and now 10, we get 2, 10, good to be 8, 9, 209, and now 9 here, we get 9, good to be 9, we get 9, good to be 9 here, 9 here, Gibbon Bull, 208. 208, 208, 209, $2. 2.5, 5, and 2, 5, 6 quarter, and 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 9, group of 2 on high, group of 2 on high, 9, 10, 9, 10, we get 9, 10, we get 9, 10, we get 9, 10, we get 9, 10, group of 9, 10, group of 9, 10, group of 9, 10, group of 9, 10, same way, 209. Two ten, 12 and a half, and 210, 12 and a half, go to be 10 and 12 and a half, go to be 10 and 12 and a half, go to be 210, 12 and a half, go to be 210, 12 and a half, go to be 210, 12 and a half, go to be 205. 6 order, and 6 order, and 6 here, 5, 6 order here, 5, go to 6, 7, and 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, high, go to 209, and 10, and 9, 10, 10, 10, 10, 9, 10, S, 61, 209. $175 and 75, 80 and 75. Going to be 2 to hand, 2 to hand, 2 to hand, 2 to hand, 2 to hand. We get 2 to hand, 5, 85, 87 to hand, 7 to hand, 7 to 90. We get 92 to hand, we get 2 to hand, 5 and 95, 97 to hand, 7 to hand, 7 to hand. Going to be $2 to pound. Going to be 2 to 2 to hand, going to be 2 to hand, 2 5 and 2 to 5. We get 5, 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 we get 5 and 5 here. Doug 202 and a half, 7. Jeff Ritter's bull. $2, 2.5, and $2, 2.5. We get 2 to hand, 2 to hand, 2 to hand, 2 to hand. We get 2 to hand, 5, we get 5, 5, 7 to hand, 7 to hand, 7 to 10, 2, 10, 2, 10, 12, 50, and 10, 11, and 2, 10, 2, 11, 11, 2, 10, 2, 11, 11, 12, 11, 12, 12, 13. We get 13, 14, we get 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 14. $S, 213, 61X. Whoa, didn't let him borrow his trailer? Man, it's not neighborly. 165, and 65, and 65, 65, 65, 7 to hand, 7 to hand, 7 to 70, 172 to hand, 72 to hand, 72, 50, and 5, and 75, 77 to hand, 77 to hand, 70, 50, and now here to give 80 here, 80 here, 81, 81, 80, and now here to here, 81, 81 here, 82, 82, 3, 81, we get 2, give him bull, 181. Lewis, that ain't very nice. I'm only 26, Lewis. I can still hear pretty good. No, I don't hear that.
See if they need help, Antonio. See if they need help.
75, 75, and 75, 77, 77, 77, 50, and 77, 77, 77, 77, 80, 2 and a half, 5, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 7 and a half, 87, 90, and 100, 190, 190, 190, 180, 7 and a half, 61X. $75, 75, and 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 77, 77, 80, 82, 84, 86, $88, and 92, and 92, 94, 94, 94, 94, 94, 6, and 94, 96, 8, 98, 98, 98, 9 and 2, and 2 and a half, and 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 5, 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 10, 210, 210, 210, and 7 10, 8, 9, 209, and 9 here, 9 there, group 9, group 9, 10, 2, 9, 10, 2, 9, 10, and 2, 10, 11, and 2, 11, 12, 11, group 12 here, 11, group 12 here, 11, group 12 here, 2, 11, 61. $185, 85 there, group 85, 85, 85, 87, 87, 7, 7, 7, 7, 90, 92, 92, 55, 95, 97, 7, 7, 2, group 2, 2, now 2, 2, group 2, 2, 2, 2, group 2, 250, and 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, S, 61, $2. $1.50. $1.55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 55, group 70, 55, group 80, now 80, and 77.50, and now 82 and a half, 82 and a half, 82 and a half, 82 and a half, 5, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85 here, 80, 85 here, 87.50, and now 90, 90, now 90, 90, 90, 2 and a half, and 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, Chris, 192 and a half, 9. $225, and 225, and 25, 25, 25, 25, 25 here, what about 5 here, group 225, 30, and 25, and 30, and 25, and 30, 30, 30, now 30, 25, 35, 35, 35, 40, 40, now 42, 30, 45, and 45, and 45 here, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45 here, bow 9, 240. $185, 85 there, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 87, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, group 87.50, and now 90, sir, and 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 97, 7, 7, 7, 7, group 97, group 97, 7, 7, group 97 and a half here, so 195, S61X. Nine tens, they are open. 155 and 55 and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57, 7, 60, 62 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 65 and 2 and a half, 5, and 5, here, Chris, 162 and a half on 20. 70, rather, go to 10 more, rather, 155, and 55, and 55, 57, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 57, and 7, and 60, 62, and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 250, and 25, and 65, 7, and 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 65, 7, 50, and 65, 7, and 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 cabinets, 165, 3. $55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57, 7, 7, 7, 7, 60, and 2 and a half, and 2 and a half, 5, and 65, and 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 600, and 65, 6600, and 65, and 6, here, give it 165. Nine, 10, zero upon 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57, going to be 60, we get 2 and a half, and 5, and 65, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 70, and 70, 70, we get 70, we get 70, we get 70, we get 70, another 70, going to be 70, we get 70, we get 70, we get 70, 8, 9, now 9, jig it 9, going to be 9, now 9, and 9, and 9, daughter 70, we get 70, going to be 70, what about 9 and a half? What about 9 and a quarter? 9 and a half. 75. What am I at? 69.75? 69.75. Sold 169 and a half. Chris 20. I did too. Please bid a quarter. I'll go 55, 55, 55, 57, 57, going to be 60, and 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 70, 170, 170, 170, 170, 170. What about the $8? 67, $8, and 67 and a half, 8 here, 8 here, Doug, 167 and a half, 5.
Halftime, wait a bit.
What'd you say?
Halftime.
Oh, halftime?
Yeah.
Halftime. Okay.
Waited in a bit.
Got to wait on the vet. How long? 20 minutes. But Terry told me Buddy brought in. I thought he said more. How many did he bring in, Buddy? 20? 5, 6. Ah. Holy. 200? That'd be about right.
Okay. All right, bye.
200?
200 head left. Hey.
200 to have to work?
Still.
So they didn't get here early this morning?
They weren't here. They came last night and worked.
They did?
Yeah.
But then they don't show up till late?
200 head left.
She's not even back home yet.
Oh, really?
Uh-uh.
Didn't they just start school?
Yeah, she missed third day of school. siesta time. All right, let's crank back up. $1.50. 150, 2.5, and 2.5, jig 5, 57, going to be 60, we get 2.5, we get 5, 7.5, 70, 170, 2.5, 75, 75, 50, 80, and now 82.5, we get 2.5, 85, 85, 85, 85, 87, going to be 87, 90, and now 90, we get 92.5, we get 2.5, you both out, 92.50, 5, in 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 3, 5, in 95, 97, 97, 97, 97, 97, 97, 97, 9, we get 95, we get 95, we get 95, we get 95, Doug, 197, 6. Dollar bid, 105, and $100 here, good to $100 here, good to 105, we get 5, 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 105, and $100 here, good to 105, we get 5 here, and now 75, 80, and 75, 80, 75, 80, 75, 80, 75, good to be 80 cents a pound, 75, 75, 75, 50 cents a pound, 30 cents a pound, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70. Burns 65, 1. $5 a pound. If I 10 here, if I 10, we get 5, 10, we get 5, 10, we get 5, 10, 5, 10, and 10 here, 5, 10 here, 5, we get 10 here, 5, 10, we get 5, 10, we get 5, 10. Chris, $5, 0. $1.55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 45, and 45, we get 47, we get 52, we get 2, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, Doug, 55, and 55, 35, and 55, 57, we get 57, we get 59, good to 9, we get 9, we get 60, and now 60, we get 60, we get 60, now 60, we get 60, we get 60 here, so 159, given X. Surprised you didn't buy him, Ricardo. Ten-year-old cows. 5 to 7 months. $2,000, 2,100, and 21, and 20, and 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, and 21, and 2, and 23, 22 and a half, we get 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, 3, and 23, 23 and a half, we get 3 and a half, we get 3 and a half, 4, and 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, and 24 and a half, we get 24 and a half, we get 24 and a half, going to be 24 and a half, going to be 24, 50, it's 24 and a half, 5, and 25 here, 25, 25, 25 and a half, going to be 25 and a half, going to be 25 and a half, we get 25 and 50, and 25 and a half, internet guys, you're out, 25, 50, and 25 and a half, we get 25, 55 and a half, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, going to be 25 and a half, 600, and 25 and a half, going to be 2600, and 2600, 5 and a half, going to be 2600, and 25 and a half, going to be 26, Andy, 2550. Good set of weight cows right there, 65. As you get 5, 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 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, 170, 170, you get 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 5, and 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, you get 5, 75, 75, 75, and 75, you get 5, and 75, you get 5, and 75, you get 5, here, Chris, 172 and a half, 10. Couple shortbreds will be on there, guys. They're all going to go.
Got him.
135, 35, you give out 35, 35, 35, 37 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and 40, you get 40, you get 2 and a half, you get 2 and a half, 5, and 45, 47 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 50, you get 50, 50, 50, $1.50 here, you get 50, 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 you get 5, whole 50, and 8, 9, and 10, 9, you get 49, group 9, you get 9, group 9, you get 9, group 9, you get 9, group 9, 49, and 40 here, group 9, group 9, you get 9, group 9, group 9, you get 9, group 9, group 9 here, cabinets 148. There's a good pair. 3,500. 35, 750, and 37 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 35, 37 and a half, 7 and a half, 3750, and 37 and a half, 37 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 37 and a half, 37 and a half, 37 and a half, 37 and a half, 3750, and 37 and a half, 7 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 and 4, and 4,000, 2 and a half, and 42 and a half, you get 2 and a half, and you're at 4250, and 40, you get 2 and a half, group 2 and a half, you get 2 and a half, you get 2 and a half, you get 2 and a half, 42 and a half, and 42 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half here, Jason, pair, 4,000. $155, 55, 55, 55, 57 and a half, 7 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 and a half, 60, 62 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 7 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 and a half, 67.50, and 7 and a half, 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 7 and a half here, given one, 165.
I'm gonna make it a given X. Shake it up.
I'd like to go to that sale. Could be some, might be some bargains. It could be a freaking runaway.
55, 155, 55, 55, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 60, 62 and a half, 2 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, 170, 170, 170, 170, and 70, 70, 70, 70, 70, 70, 67 and a half, 2. She needs some brake fluid. $45, 45, you give out 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 52 and a half, 2 and a half, 55, 55, 57 and a half, going to be 60, you get 60, you get 60, you get 62 and a half, you get 2 and a half, 5, and you get about 7 and a half, 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 Kyle, 165, D2. $65, and you get 5, and you get about 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, 170, 172 and a half, 75, 75, 77 and a half, 77.50, and 77 and a half, going to be 77 and a half, going to be 77 and a half, 77.50 S, 175.21. $135, and 35, you give out 35, 35, 37 and a half, 7 40, 42 and a half, 45, 45, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 50, and half, 50, 50, 50, going to be 50, 50 and a half, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 52, 50, and 52 and a half, 52 and a half, D, 150. 2. 135, 35, you got 35, 35, 35, 35, you get 35, you get 35, 25, and 27 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and 30, you get 30, 2 and a half, 25, 35, 37 and a half, 37, 50, and 37 and a half, 7 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 and a half, here, so 135 Gibbon. $65, and $65, and $65, 7 and a half, 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 70, 70, and 2 and a half, 70, and 2 and a half, 5, and 75, 75, 75, John, you're out, 75, 75, 75, 75, Chris, 72 and a half, 10.
Do you like that pair?
55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57 and a half, 7 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 and a half, 60 down, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 65, and 65, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, 170, 2 and a half, 72 and a half, 72, 50, and 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 72 and a half, here, S, 172. Pair of fives. 5 years and 5 months, 2100, and 21, and 20, and 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 22, 22, 22, 3, and 23, and 23, going to be 22, 50, and 22 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 3, 23, 23 and a half, 3 and a half, 23 and a half, 4, and 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, and 24 and a half, and 24 and a half, 24 and a half, 24 and a half, going to be 24 and a half, going to be 24 and a half, here, Bailey, 2400, Denny, Bailey, Denny, 2400. Way her 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57, going to be 60, 2 and a half, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 67, 50, and 7 and a half, 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 70, 72 and a half, 75, and 75, 75, 75, 75, here, Bo, 72 and a half, 5. Six-year-old cow here, 135, 35, you got 35, 35, 37, 42 and a half, 45, 47 and a half, 50, you get 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, another 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, so 147 and a half, Doug, 5. Five years, she's 4 months bred, 1,500. 15 and a half, and 15 and a half here, going to be 16, going to be half, going to be 17, going to be half, going to be 18, going to be half, going to be 19, going to be half, going to be 2,000, now 15, now 20, 50, and 20, 50, and 20, 50, 50 and a half here, 1, and 21, 21, 21 and a half here, 1 half here, 2, half, and 22 and a half here, half, 3, and 23 and a half here, half here, 23 and a half, 4, 23, 50, and 23 and a half here, half here, half here, Bailey, 2,300. 2350. Yeah, Bailey Denny. 5 and up on here, 175, and 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75 here, 75, 80, 80 here, 80, give 80 here, 81, 81, 80 here, 75, give 80, and 75, 80 here, 80, give 80 here, 5, 85, 90, 190, 190, 190 here, 185, 5. 5-year-old cow, 155, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 35, 40, and 35, 40, 45, 45, 55, 55, 55, 60, 60, 55, 5, and 65, 70, 75, and 75, 80, 85, 90, and 95, and 95, 200, and 205, 210, 210, 210, 210, and 10 of them, group of 10, 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 here, Chris, 205, 3X. Huh? Yep. 250, 60, and 255, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 255, 60, and 265, 70, and now 70, 70, 75, 75, 80, 80, 85, 85, 85, and 90, 290, 295, and 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, and 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, bow, 291. 7-year-old cow, 45, and 45, 45, 45, 45, 47, 52, 55, 55, 55, 57, 57, 7, 57, 60, and 2 5, and 65, 65 here, now 5 here, 70, and 170, now 70, now 70, 170, 170, Ricardo, 165. 7 years, she's 4 months bred, 2,500 and 25, 25 and 25, 25, 25, 25 and a half here, 5 and a half, going to be 2,600 and a half, and 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 800 here, 8 here, 2,800 and 2,800 here, 8 and a half here, 8 and a half, 9, and down high, 9, 29, 950, and 9 and a half, 3,000, going to be 3,000, 3,000, 3, and 3,000, 3,000, going to be 3, now 3,000, 3,000, 3, so 2,950. Chris 3. Oh, Jimmy. 8-year-old, she's open, $1 pound. 3-year-old, she's open. Almost still started at $1, 110, 110, 20, and 20, 30, 30, 40, 50, 150, 160, 150, 60, 70, and 70, 170, 80, 81, 81, 81, 80, and 70, give 80, 80, 90, could be 190, could be 190, could be 190 now, 2, and 190, could be 190, could be 190, could be $2 here, could be 190, could be sold, 190, Ricardo. Ten-year-old cow right there, here, 135, 35, 35, 37, 7, 7, 40, 42, 45, 45, and 45 here, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, Doug, 42 and a half, 5, X.
Yeah.
65, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57, 7, 57, 50, and 57, going to be 62 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 65, 7, 7, 7, D, 165, 2.
Yeah, everything, all the metal should go there.
4-year-old, she's open, $2. $2.05 and $2.05, 210 and down 10, 15, down 15, 20, 225 and 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 225 and 225 5 here, 225, bow, 225. 8 upon 35 and 35, 35, 37, 7, 37, 40, 40, 2 and a half, 5, and 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 47, 7, 50, and 52 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55 here, S, 52 and a half, 8. 10-year-old cow. She's 6 months bred. 2100 and 21. Yeah, 21 and 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 2, big 2, hand 2, big 3, hand 3, big 4, 24 and a half, 5. Yeah, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 2500 and 25 and a half, 5 and a half, 600 and 26 and a half. Here, 7 and 7 hand, 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 800 and 2800 here, 8 and a half here, 8 and a half here, 850 and 28 and a half and 28 9 and hand 9, big 9 and 29 and a half, 9 and 50 and 9 and a half, big 9 and a half, 29 and a half, big 29 and a half, big 9 and a half, big 20, big 9 and a half here, Chris 3, 2900, put him on 16. 16, yep. 145, yeah, 45, 45, 45, 45, 47 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 50 and a half, 52 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and 60, 62 and a half, 2 and a half, dug her out, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 67, 50 and a half, 70, and 170, 2 and a half, 75, and 75 here, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, Ricardo, 172 and a half. Seven years old, 6 months bred. Good cow, 2500 and 25. Yeah, 25 and 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 50 and 25 and a half, 5 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 and a half. Going to be 25 and 2600 and 2600 and 25 and a half. Going to be 26 and a half. At 6 and a half, 26 and a half, 2650 and 26 and a half here, half here, half here, 2650. Andy, 2600. 6-year-old here, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57, going to be 60, going to get 62 and a half, 5, and 65, Robbie out, 65, and 65, 7 and a half, 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 7 and a half here, Chris, 165, 10. Three years, she's 4 months bred, 2100. Yeah, 21 and 21, 21, 21, 21 here, mama font here, 21 here, 21 here, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21 and 2100. Yeah, 2100 here, mama font here, 21 here, going to be 17 and a half, 18 and 17 and a half, 17 and 18 here, 18 here, 18 here, 18. Ricardo, 17 and a half. 2. 2 years, she's 5 months bred, 2100. Yeah, 21 and 21, 21, 21, 2100 here, 1 and 2, 3 and 23, 4 and 24 and a half and 25 and 25, 25, 25, 55 and a half, 5 and a half, 625 and a half, going to be 6 and a half and 6 and a half here, half here, half here, going to be 26 and a half and 26 and a half here, half here, Chris, 2600, 3. $155, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57, 7, 7, 60, now 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, 170, 172 and a half, 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 5, and 75, 50, and 77, going to be 85, 80 here, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, 85 there, going to be 85, 85, 85, 85, 85 here, 80, 85, 85, Ricardo, 82 and a half, number 2. What'd she cost the first time? Apparently. 5 years old here, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 7 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 and a half, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, and 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, given 155. Cal, your flashlight's on. 8 years. She's 7 months bred. 2100. Thank you. 21 and 21. 21 and 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 22, 22, 21 and a half, 2150 and 21 and a half, 21 and a half. Going to be 2 and a half. Going to get 2 and a half, 3 and a half, 3 and a half, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, and 24 and a half, 5. 25 and 25, 55 and a half, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 600 and 2600 here. 5 and a half, 26 here, 5 and a half. Dylan, you're at 2600 and 26 and 2600 here. 5 and a half, 2600 here, 6 and a half and 6 and a half here. Both guys online round. Now 7 and 7 here, 7 and 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 750 and 27 and 5. 27 and 5. Yeah, Andrew 750 and 27 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 800 and 2800 here. 850 and 28 and a half here. 8 and a half here. 8 and a half. 2850 and 28 and a half here. Yet again, Andy. And now 9 and now 9. 2900 Andy. 28 and a half. 5 years and she's 5 months bred. 2100, 21 and 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 50 and 21 and a half here. 1 half here. 21, 21, 21 and a half. Now 2 and 2200 and now 2. Group 2, group 2, group 2, group 2, group 2. Now 200 and now 200. Now 2, group 2, now 2. Now 2, group 2, now 22, group 2. Dylan 2150. $3 years. She's open. $2, 205 and 205. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 2, 5, 205 and 205, 5, 5, 5, 5, now 5 here. 175 and 75 here. 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 50 now 5 and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 5 and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60 and now 60, 160 Ricardo, 155 number 2. Three-year-old cow. She's 3 months bred. 3,000 and 31 and 31. You go on 31, 31, 31, 31, 3100 here. 1 here. 1 here. 1 here. Going to be 3,100 and 31 and 31, 31, 31, 31, 3,100 here. 1 here. 1 here. Chris 3,000 on 3. $65 and $55 and $55 and 55 45 47 and 7 and 47 and 7 and 7 and 50 and 2 and a half 5 and 55 57 going to be 60 going to get 60 going to get 60 bit of a 60 you're going to be 60 and now 60 pound going to be 60 going to get 60 going to get 60 now 60 here Chris 10 157.50. Where are you, Rob? $210.20 and $210.20. We get $210.20 here. $210.20 here. $210.20 and $210.20. We get $210, $210, $210, $210, $210, $210, $2.05 and $205 and $205. We get $5. We get $5. We get $5. We get $5 and $205 here. $5. We get $5. We get $5 here. Here $75 and $75.80 and $75 give 80 here. 81, 81, 80 here. 75 give 80 here. $1.50. She's young. 55, 60, 5, 70. 175 Antone, 170 Antone. 65 and 65 and 65 7 and 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 70 70 70 70 70 now 8 9 and now 9 you get down there group 9 group 9 group 9 group 9 here group 9 dollar group 9 group 9 here so 168 given 1. She got a little bit of that mad cow in her. 175. 75. 75. 75. 75. 75. 75. 75. 75. 75. 75. Going to be 175. And 75 pounds. 75. 75. 75. 75. 75. 75. 75. $1.50. $1.55. $1.55. $1.55. So at 150. S2.
Was 95-17 break check?
10-year-olds are 5 and 7 months bred. 2100. 2000. 1. 2100. 1. 2100. 2100. 1. Here going to be 2100. 2100. 21 and 2100 here. 5 and 7 months bred here. Everyone's got a long toe. They're both gonna go. $1.50 pound and 55 and 55. 55. 55. 55. 57. 57. 57. Going to be 60. Going to get 60. Going to get 2.5 and 2.5. 2.5. 5 and 5. And 5 here. 5 here. Cabin at 62.5. 5. White cows here, 45 and 45. You can find a 5 here, 47 and 7 and 7 and 47 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 50. You get 50 and 2 and a half. You get 50 and 2 and a half and 52 and a half. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55. You get 5, 55, you get 5, 55, you get 5, 57 and a half and 57 and 7 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 and that Chris 155.20. Where you been, JR? Let us go. Here's the most sixes. Oh, I'd like to butcher one of them. Are they supposed to be bred? They're too damn fat if they are. That's why Doctor isn't pregnant them.
We better make sure. Call the office. Let's make sure that's right.
Peel these for a minute.
Just hold on.
Or we can hang on. I'm in no hurry today. They were supposed to be preg check. They might be a little bit too juicy.
What's the name? Pete
Peter Jeffries.
Jeffries.
Chase
They're
Jeffries.
supposed to be break checked. Hello? No. Call Jason. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, they're in the ring right now. Some of them, we've sold several already. Okay. How far along? Okay. Oh. Okay. All right. They're too big for her to preg check. He pulled blood on them, and they were bred. But
How far bred?
you can't tell when you pull blood. So there you go.
Doc says they're too big for her to preg check. blood tested them to be bred, so I don't know. $2 a pound. 205 and 205, it'll get 5, it'll get 5, it'll get 5, 205, 205, 205, and 205, it'll get 5, it'll get 5, now 5 here, $55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 70, 75, and 75 here, 75, 80, 80, 180, 180 here, 75, give 80, 80 down, 80, 75, 80, got you, Andy, 75, 80, and 75, 80 here, 180 here, 180 here, 180 here, 180, Andy, 175.
Yes, sir. Yep. Yes, sir. Yep. Yep. We've been selling them. So there was 3 that just weighed 1480. Okay. Okay. We'll have to. Okay. I'll get on it. Okay. I don't think so, because these weigh 1480 and bring 175. PO them.
She is 6 months.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Too big to preg.
Tell Andy he didn't get those 3. Who else has been buying them?
I don't know. Andy, we're going to have to PO those 3 for a minute. You did not get the last 3. We're going to figure something out, and we'll let you know what happens at the end of the sale. I was just telling him to leave those 3 in the. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, sir. Six-year-old cow, 155, and 55, and 55, 55, 55, 57, 57, 57, 60, we get 60 now, 60, we get 60, we get 60, we get 2.5, and 2.5, 5, and 65, and 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 3, 5, and half 5, 7 here, 7, 7, 7, 7, 5, and 7 here, 5, we get 7 here, 5, going to be 7, Chris, 165, 10. $185, 85 there, good 85, 85, 85, 90 here, 90, 190, 190 here, 85, 90 here, 95, and 95, 95, 95, 92, and 95, 2, 97 hand, 7 hand, 7 hand, 7 hand, 7 hand, 7 hand, 750, and 97 hand, 7 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 hand, sold 195, Gibbon Bull. $155, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57, 57, going to be 60, we get 2 and a hand, 2 and a hand, we get 2 and a hand, we get 2 and a hand, we get 2 and a hand, 250, and 2 and a hand, we get 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 2 and a hand, you be dropped, 2 and a hand, sold 160, Ricardo. Third quarter.
Well,
right, fourth quarter started. 185, 85 there, group 85, 85, 87, group 90, we get 2.5, 95, we get 97, group 2 bit here, group 2.5, we get 2.5, 5, and 25, we get 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.10, group 210, group 210, group 8, 9, and down 9, 10, here, group 210, 11, and 210, 11, 11, 12, here, 11, group 212, 13, and 30, 30, 13, we get 30, 14, here, group 14, we get 14, we get 14, 15, and 50, 50, 15, here, 50, we get 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 50, here, S, 214, 61. He's going to take him back home.
Be the same as the last one.
Same as the last one.
Preview of a coming attraction here in about 2 to 3 more months. How about that? Hope so too. Gonna put him on some dry grass and skinny him up or skinny him down, whatever you want to do. Bring him back.
We can take it to my place, then we'll skin him up.
Well, you can come to my place, I'll skinny up real quick.
Maybe 2 parts.
Ooh, yeah, maybe about 2 weeks. One of them 7x4. Rest of them are opens. Okay. Let's hold that one cow that's 7x4. Okay. Let's sell them other 5. Oh, she's 10x4. 10x4. They're all gonna go. All go, guys, right there, here, 145, and 45, you go over 45, 47, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 7 and a half, and 57, going to be 60, and now 62 and a half, 52 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 65, and 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, here, 5, 55, 55, here, 5, 55, sold, 62 and a half, Kevin is 3. Nine by 3 and 2 open cows here. 155, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, cow 55, and 57, 57, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 60, and hand 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 5 here, and 5, cow 262 and a half, D2. D2. There's one good bull calf, $1,000 bid. He's banded. Call him a steer. $1,000. 1050 and 10 and a half, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 12, 100, 12, 100, 12 and a half, 12, 11, 12, 11, going to be 13, going to get 13 and a half, and 13 and a half here, half here, going to be 13, 50, 14, and 14, 50, 14, 50, 14, 50, 14, 50, 14, 50, 1400, and 1400 about there, 50, 14, 50, 14, 50, 14, 50, 14, 50, 14, 50, 14, 50, 14 here, Chris. Oh, 1350. Thank you, Mike. Eight years, she's 5 months bred, 155, 10 by 5. Your 8s and 10s sound the same to me. Huh? I know it. 155, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57, 57, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, sold 155, Chris, 16. It's terrible. 21, gotcha. 4-year-old daughter, 65, and 65, 7 and a half, 70, 170, 2 and a half, 75, 75, 50, and 77 and a half, 77 and a half, 77 and a half, 77 and a half here, given 175. You'll milk her tonight, Rob? Thank you guys for being here. Y'all have a good afternoon. Is there one left? Will she come through the ring or no? No. See you guys. See you later. Good job.